Hey guys, it's Alex here from alextubi.com and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about Instagram engagement rates. Most importantly, I'm going to share the engagement rate percentage I think you should aim for based on your follower count and give you a few different ways to calculate your engagement rate quickly, easily, and accurately. If that sounds good, then make sure you hit the subscribe button because I post videos like this about Instagram and online business all the time. Now, before we get started, let's take a quick word from our sponsor, Storyblocks. Storyblocks is a subscription service that gives you unlimited access to HD and 4K video footage created by industry-leading videographers. Whether you're a freelancer, content creator, or full-time video producer, Storyblocks can help bring your stories to life. The Storyblocks library contains millions of video clips, motion backgrounds, After Effects templates, audio files, and more to help you instantly up-level your content and your brand. So, if you're looking to take your video to the next level to increase your subscriber base, impress your boss, or land new clients, then Storyblocks is for you. To try out the Storyblocks Unlimited All-Access Pass, click the link in my description box below. Your Instagram engagement rate is important for a few reasons. One, it shows if the content you're creating is resonating with your audience or not. Two, it helps build authority in your niche in the eyes of your audience. And three, it's a qualifying factor for brands and companies who might want to work with you. But it's pretty damn hard to achieve a high engagement rate these days. Now, that's not entirely your fault, but rather Instagram and how the algorithm works. If you have 1,000 followers, that does not mean that all 1,000 will be shown your post. It sucks, but it's true. So you have to first adjust your expectations and know that your engagement rate is not likely to be super duper high. So here are some example engagement rates to aim for. If you have 0 to 5,000 followers, 10 to 20% or more is ideal. Since your follower count is small, it's a lot easier to achieve a high engagement rate as the amount of your followers that do see your content is much higher than it will be when your following increases. That means subsequently, as your following increases, your engagement rate will naturally drop. So if you have 5,000 to 10,000 followers, 5 to 10% is suggested. If you have 10,000 to 50,000 followers, 3 to 5% is ideal. And finally, if you have 50,000 or more followers, 1 to 3% is likely where you will land. Now, of course, having higher engagement rates than these suggestions would be fantastic, but these are the general averages, so you at the very least want to be inside of them. So now we have to discuss how to accurately calculate your engagement rate. There are 3 different methods to doing this that take into account varying elements of your analytics. So to make it easy on you, I've actually put together my own Instagram engagement rate calculator that you can download by using the link in my description. All you have to do is make a copy, input your numbers, and you'll automatically be given your engagement rate per post as well as an average for your account. So go ahead and grab that, then I'll explain how the calculations work. The first option and the first tab within the Google Doc will calculate your engagement rate based on your post interactions. To do this, we take the sum of your likes, comments, saves, and shares, which you can find in your post analytics, and divide it by your follower count, and then multiply it by 100 to get a percentage. The engagement rate column will show you what your engagement rate was for each individual photo, so you can see which posts perform better, not just by how many likes they received, but by the total of all of their interactions. And as you continue to fill out the document, you'll be shown how your posts rank compared to each other. So the red field represents the post with the lowest engagement rate, and the dark green represents the best performing post. Then below that, you will see an automatic calculation of your average account engagement over the last 5 and 10 posts, which will give you a good idea of how your account is performing overall. Now, if you click over to the second tab, you'll see an additional calculator which bases your engagement rate off of your post reach. Again, this calculator makes it super easy for you as it will pull all the fields from the previous calculation, leaving just the reach field for you to fill out. Once you've done that, this calculator will take the total of your post interactions, divide it by the post reach, and multiply it by 100. This method could be considered slightly more accurate as it's based specifically on how many people saw your post, which will give you a good idea of how well it's performing. But I don't personally think that it's the most appropriate way to represent your influence to brands that want to work with you. The fact that your account is not reaching more people is a potential problem, and it shouldn't be taken out of the equation if you're using these numbers to help identify areas of improvement. And finally, if we hop over to the final tab, you will see the third calculator, which is based off the amount of impressions your post received. This calculation is total post interactions divided by impressions and multiplied by 100. This method will likely result in a percentage lower than the previous calculation, but it is good for measuring the effectiveness of your content because it takes into account 100% of the times your post was seen. So those are the three primary methods to determining your engagement rate. The most common and most accurate is the interactions calculator, and I recommend this for when you're trying to determine how your account is performing as a whole, and also in relation to others in your niche. And the reach and impressions options are great for determining the impact of your content and whether or not your audience is responding to what you're posting. Of course, the higher the number is, the better, but don't beat yourself up about it. If you can stay within the guidelines I shared with you at the beginning of this video, you're doing a great job. So I hope you found this video helpful and learned something new. If you did, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you never miss another video from me. That's it for today, guys, and I will see you next time.